po bang katarungan sa ating panahon? May mga nagsasabi, they were commenting, yes, merong katarungan pero napakahirap makamit. And justice is often for sale. Yun ang tuwika nila. Justice for them is prostituted, selective, double standard, and often delayed, and madalas daw denied. Buti lang itong mga comments ay hindi standard. Pero yung ganong senaryo ay nangyayari ho sa buong mundo. At baka sa ibang lugar mas malala pa. Ang sabi ng isang author, justice means much more than the sort of thing that goes on law courts. Justice is the old name, wika niya, for everything we should now call fairness. And fairness includes honesty, give and take, truthfulness, keeping promises, and all that side of life. So dahil sa ang Diyos ang ating dapat reference point when it comes to justice, yung tunay na hustisya in any society is one that is anchored on objective moral values. Tulungan tayo ng Diyos sa hapong ito na maunawaan ang mas malalim pang kahulugan ng hustisya upang sa ngayon maipatupad hindi lang ng mga law enforcers, pati natin mga sibilyan, yung tunay na kahulugan ng justice sa ating kapwa. Magandang araw sa atin lahat. Ito po yung lingkod, Fred de Guzman, ang life coach ng Squad 244. Mag-aralan tayo and comment sa ating Bible study. Gusto kong marinig po kayo. Tulungan tayo ng Diyos ngayong hapon. Tayo nasa Bulacan, those who are outside the country, na talagang matutunan what justice really means. Dahil kung hindi po natin ito maipatutupad, ilato tayo ay magiging para mga nasa koral. Walang kapayapaan, walang katinuan ang paligid. Mabubuhay ang maraming tao sa takot, puno-puno ng pangamba. But according to PNP Ethical Doctrine Manual, PNP members shall strive constantly to respect the rights of others so that they can fulfill their duties, exercise their rights as human beings. Parents, children, citizens, workers do likewise. Ibig sabihin, ang mga kapulisan po natin, members ng PNP, ay magsisikap na igalang ang karapatan ng iba upang magampanan natin ang ating tungkulin, magamit yung kanilang karapatan. Ating karapatan bilang tao, magulang, bilang anak, mamamayan, manggagawa, o pinuno man ng ating lugar, o iba pang kakayahan natin ay matiyak na sasakutuparan ayon sa batas. So judgment and justice are interrelated. Judgment is the verdict in punishment. Ito yung pasya doon sa hustisya na kailangan ng tao. And justice is the exact measure na ibinigay where punishment is implemented for the crimes na naganap o nagawa. So ano po ba yung ating mga karapatan bilang mga tao? Are we aware kung ano po yung binanggit muna sa Miranda Rights? Ito po yung nakaukit sa Section 12 ng Bill of Rights of 1987 Constitution. Ito po sinabi, any person under investigation for the commission of an offense shall have the right to be informed of his right to remain silent, to have competent and independent counsel, preferably of his own choice. If the person cannot afford the services of counsel, he or she must be provided with one. Sa linggo ng ating mga kapulisan, lagi na rin binabanggit ito, whenever they apprehend a suspect, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, you will be provided with one, which is tamang-tama lang talaga. So the driving purpose behind the Miranda rights is to prevent law enforcers na puwersahin ng sinumang tao na ini-interrogate to incriminate himself para sa ikapapahamak niya. But sadly, sa mundong ginagalawa natin na walang kasiguruhan, na hindi natin alam kung lahat ay talagang umaayon sa batas, tila relative na lang yung justice na madalas na babagit na ng mga tao, yung justice, tiis-tiis na lang. It remains in the level of our faith na just na lang talaga ang magbigay ng parusa. So, huwag naman po sa mura ng tiwala sa ating pamahalaan. God will finally good or correct all the wrong things, and good will triumph over evil. Time comes, and injuries will finally be healed, and righteousness will be restored. But that time will come. However, sa ating present leadership ng PNP, ako po ay patuloy na nagtitiwala at naniniwala na we are safe. I believe justice will still can be served. Proverbs 28 verse 4, silang nagpapabaya sa kautusan ay nagsisipuri sa masama, ngunit ang nag-iingat ng kautusan ay nakikipag-alit sa kanila. Ang mga tao ay hindi nakakaunawa ng kautusan, ngunit silang naghahanap sa Panginoon ay nakauunawa sa lahat ng mga bagay. So to reject the law is to praise the wicked. To obey the law is to fight the wicked. Yung masasamang tao ayaw umunawa ng katwiran, ayaw ng hustisya. But those who follow God, inuunawa ang katwiran. Going deeper, we're not talking about justice alone per se, but we're talking about biblical justice. And what is biblical justice? It's making sure that all members of the community have access to resources and goods for the sake of a viable life. Buhay na may dignidad, including the widows, orphans, immigrants. Kumbaga ang tao merong free access to a better life, especially those without leverage or muscle to sustain their own legitimate place sa society, meaning the oppressed. Simply relational, taking care of each other. Biblical justice is malasakit sa isa't isa. Pagmamalasakit. Pagpapakita ng kagandang asal. It's the act of loving your neighbor, acting out the love to make sure others will have what they need. Even if it means kung anong meron ako, kung gusto ko lang talaga, pwede ko i-share sa kanila. Biblical justice goes beyond our individual responsibility to care for one another. Biblical justice requires us to do something when authorities fail to care for the needy. Tulungan tayo ng Diyos na may patupad dyan. And going back to human rights, ay sa Universal Declaration of Human Rights, among 30 of the rights ng tao, nakasama rito yung the right to life and liberty, freedom from slavery and torture, freedom of opinion and expression, the right to work and education, right to equality before the law, freedom from arbitrary arrest and exile, right to fair public hearing, and right to be considered innocent until proven guilty, right to own property, freedom of belief and religion. Kaya may mga tao na ayaw hayaang kumandidato yung isang religious leader na naakusahan ng panghahalay. Para sa akin, hayaan isang tumakbo para malaman niya kung ano dapat niyang paglagyan. Some people would feel so deserving, entitled, na pagka pinigil mo yung mga yan, lalo nagkukumawala yan. But they still have the right. If they are qualified, let them run. And let them be ashamed. Everyone is entitled to these rights without discrimination. Hanggat hindi na patutunayan ang kasalanan, everybody is innocent. So how do we uphold justice and human rights? Simply respect the human rights of all citizens, regardless of age, gender, place of residence, education, socio-economic status. Respect everyone, even the religion and political affiliation. Kahit tanong gigil na gigil ka na doon sa tao yan, gusto mong lapirutin ang pagmumukha niya, that person still has the right. As the saying goes, justice is blind, meaning it is impartial. Justice is objective. Isaiah 1:17, matuto kayong gumawa ng mabuti, inyong hanapin ang kahatulan, inyong sakluluhan ng napipigati, inyong hatulan ng ulila, ipagsaalang-alang ninyo ang babaeng bao. Meaning, do not twist justice in legal matters. Napapabura ng ilan at ipapahamak ang ilan because you have the power. Always judge people fairly. Leviticus 19:15, huwag kayong gagawa ng kalikuan sa paghatol. Huwag kayong magtatangi ng pagkatao ng dukha. Huwag niyong pangararangalan ang pagkatao ng makapangyarihan, kundi haatulan niyo na patuwiran ang inyong kapwa. That is respect. Secondly, responsible. Be responsible to our duties as law enforcers. Ang PNP mission statement includes the phrase, enforce the law without fear and favor. And this is what God wants. Administer through justice, show mercy, and compassion one to another. Zechariah 7:9, maglapat kayo ng tunay na kahatulan, magpakita ng kaawaan at ng kahabagan ng bawat isa sa kanyang kapatid. So, again, ang hamon sa atin is in Micah 6:8. What the Lord require of thee to do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly. Na tayong lahat will be accountable to God first of all. All that we do must be based on justice. And God doesn't want anything actually from us. God wants us just to do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly. And too often we hear the word justice, not only seeking out justice for ourselves, justice we deserve. Para sa atin, we deserve something more sa ibinigay na hatol. But even deeper than that, God is calling us to do justice that works for equality of all people. God is asking us to advocate for the powerless. That's part of justice. And God is requiring us to turn things upside down so that the poor and the oppressed are raised up. That is part of justice. God is in no way asking us to ensure our own wealth so that we can get what we deserve. Noong pamampuno ni Kristo, nakakakita na siya ng mga injustices sa paligid. They want to take advantage of people. And he knew that justice could not occur while everyone was happy with the status quo. So practicing justice is opening our eyes to the world around us, seeing the disparity between the poor and those who are having economic privileges, and start caring for those who are hurting. That is justice. Start caring for those who are in need. Hindi dahil sa conveniente. But that justice would somehow require sacrifice. So once we are freed from our narcissism, pagiging makasarili, feeling entitled, feeling siga, and deserving, when we are freed of our narcissism, then we are able to defend the rights and dignity of other people. And that would finally ma-experience ng tao yung justice and truth. Madali na para sa atin. So may God help us. Tulungan tayo ng Panginoon. Lalo na ito ating mga kasama sa Squad 244 May God bless us all and keep you safe. Please pray for Patrolman Jason Reville, Police Corporal Jodrick Benedictus, Police Staff Sergeant Abio Burgess. Pray for Police Master Sergeant Fernando Dati, Police Master Sergeant Michael Bermejo. Include Police Master Sergeant Ryan Garcia, Police Senior Master Sergeant Will Ray Guillermo, and Police Chief Master Sergeant Sir Joseph Aquino, and all the PNP in the country, including our President and our local officials. So tulungan tayo ng Panginoong Diyos. Magsimula ang katwiran sa ating mga puso and then ikalat natin sa iba. Magmalasakit tayo sa kapwa. Salamat po.